Hello Pittsburgh and everyone watching. Pittsburgh Sean here, and I am going to be doing my first video for the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the second season, I should say, recapping the Pittsburgh Steelers game and giving my thoughts on it and the next game coming up. Now, just want to say before I get into that, I think you're going to know what happened after this, but how about Pittsburgh sports lately? I'll tell you. If you're a fan of Pittsburgh sports right now, it is pretty depressing right now. The Pirates are falling apart. They were winning the last I checked tonight to the Reds, believe it or not, but they were swept by the Cubs, swept by the Brewers, swept by the Padres, swept by teams under 500. So the Pirates are just collapsing, like epically collapsing. It's possible they might not win 81 games again for a 20th straight season after it looked like it was a sure thing they would break that streak. So that's very frustrating. Then you have the Pitt Panthers. Boy, do they suck. I mean, they can't even beat YSU of all teams. I mean, Youngstown State University, and Youngstown State is one of those IUP-like schools. Okay, well, maybe a little bit higher up, but I mean, they're not much, and I'm 20 minutes from Youngstown. I live in Newcastle, PA, and YSU is not much, let me tell you. And no offense to the YSU people out there, but YSU, they're probably good for their level of competition. They probably will they might even go undefeated this year. Who knows? I don't even know what they did last weekend, but Pitt should beat that team. Okay, and YSU just I mean, they dominated Pitt, actually. I mean, it wasn't even close. I think 31-17. So, and then now the Steelers tonight, or last night. Just another disappointment. And what are you going to do? And that is what we're going to get into tonight. Here, but Pittsburgh sports just thumbs down. And a big thumbs down. Anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers traveled to Denver. They played the Broncos in what was going to be a rematch. But this time around, there was no rematch about it. There was no redemption, no nothing. The Steelers lost for a second straight time to the Broncos at Denver. The final this time was 31-19, so they got worse from last time when they lost 29-23 to Tim Tebow, of all people. And this time they didn't fare any better with Peyton Manning. Now, it looked like there was a chance. I mean, the Steelers, and they did a lot of things wrong in this game, obviously, but they still had a chance to do it at the end. But then right before the 2-minute warning, Big Ben threw a pick six to Tracy Porter, who, by the way, had a pick six of Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. Now he plays with Peyton Manning on the Broncos squad, so I think that's a little interesting. But basically, Porter sealed the deal. Pick six, 31-19, Broncos win. The Steelers had no shot after that. That was then I shut the TV off and went upstairs to bed, and I don't know. It was a bad game. There were some bright spots, I will say. I mean, it wasn't quite. I mean, and there were a lot of injuries on that defensive unit, and I mean they had some bright spots until the Broncos started playing the no huddle, and then everything just changed, and then it went downhill. And that's actually what I want to get into, because I actually think that is the big difference in this football game. I think there are actually two differences in this football game, but there is one difference in this football game that meant something. And I think that really turned this game around. And basically, the big difference in this football game, in my opinion, is the fact that the Broncos coaches outcoached the Steelers coaches. Now, you're probably wondering what I mean, and I'm going to tell you what I mean. The Broncos coaches, okay, after a quarter and maybe a quarter of another quarter, they were scoreless in that game. Peyton Manning looked a little rusty. They weren't running the ball too effectively. Willis McGahee fumbled the football in the first quarter, gave the Steelers the ball back. I think we got a field goal out of that. Well, actually, we didn't get a field goal out of that, but we basically changed the field position around, and we got a field goal on the next possession. But basically, after that quarter and then a little bit of the second quarter of nothing, the Broncos changed it up. Now during that time that the Broncos were scoreless, the Broncos were running a huddle package. They were huddling up. They were trying to get Peyton Manning settled down, so John Fox thought he would use the huddle. But then in the second quarter, John Fox let Peyton be Peyton and do the no huddle. Ever since, they were scoring. It was a score fest. Every time they had the football, the Broncos scored points, and there was no stopping them. And the Steelers, instead of adjusting to the Broncos adjustments, they didn't adjust after halftime. Okay, after the Broncos scored that touchdown on them in the second quarter, they went into halftime up 10-7. They had the lead, and they scored another field goal, but then they didn't adjust. And actually, it's weird because in the first quarter, when they were huddling up, the Steelers brought all these blitzes and different packages. And then all of a sudden, when the Broncos started to do the no huddle, then all of a sudden, the Steelers stopped blitzing. I'm like, why stop the blitz when it was working? I mean, they sacked Peyton Manning about 2-3 times in that first part of the game when the Broncos didn't score anything. Then all of a sudden, the Steelers stopped doing it, and I just don't understand why. And so, I mean, it was just obvious that John Fox and that Broncos coaching staff totally outperformed Mike Tomlin and our coaching staff. That was the difference in this game, I think. Now, there was a minor difference about Peyton versus Ben. And by the way, the pick six made me want to wear this shirt. And as you see, I enjoy it. Every time the Steelers lose, I like to wear that shirt. So, but there you go. I mean, basically, Peyton Manning outperformed Big Ben, and that was a slight difference. Now it adds up though because the pick six finished the game. I mean, we still could have won if it wasn't for Ben's pick six. Okay, simple as that. We could have won the football game, easy, but we didn't because of the pick six. The pick six ended it. Also, Ben missed Mike Wallace twice. One down the sideline, and then on the same drive on third down, missed him wide open for a touchdown with a blown coverage that the Broncos had. Ben missed him twice. Then early in the game, Ben missed Heath Miller in the end zone when we had to settle for a field goal. When it was 3-0, or when we got 3-0, it could have been 7-0 off the top of the bat, but Ben missed Heath when he kind of like, I don't know what he threw. I mean, it was very underthrown, and a Bronco tipped it, and then the ball was batted down in the end zone, and then Heath Miller couldn't catch it. So, because it was underthrown for him. So, missed opportunities. Ben did not look right in this game. And the coaching just totally was crushed by the Broncos coaching. And Mike Tomlin just got an extension, but John Fox made Mike Tomlin look silly in this game, make him look like an amateur, and he made Dick LeBeau look like an amateur, and he made Todd Haley look the Broncos coaching staff made the Steelers coaching staff all look like amateurs. And I'm going to tell them right now, and they're probably not going to watch this, but I'm going to tell them right now, they better clean that up for Sunday. They better clean that up and get their acts together quickly, or we're going to lose again. Now, I'm not saying we will. I actually think we're going to beat the Jets. Okay, as silly as that is. I think we'll come back from this and beat the Jets. because I'm still not sure about Sanchez and that Jets offense, and they had a good game against the Bills, but I want to see it again. I want to see him do this with Ryan Clark back and possibly even James Harrison back. I'm not sure what Harrison's status is yet, but I want to see him do that before I consider the Jets to be an elite team. But so I'm not panicking yet on the Steelers, but I'm sending them a warning right now. They better get their butts in shape. They better get their acts together, and they better stop the silliness, stop coaching like amateurs, stop playing like amateurs, and get their heads out of the sand, out of their ass, and get going and focus on the Jets game in Pittsburgh. Okay, if we lose this game, then I think it's fair for the Steeler fans to panic. Okay, that's just my opinion. If we lose to the Jets and we go 0-2, then we got to hit the panic button, I think. But until then, I'm not ready to hit it yet, because I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to beat the Jets in Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh on the North Shore. I think we could do this, but we better get our acts together. We better get our asses we better get our head out of our asses and get our asses together and get ready and play this game much better than we did at Denver. Okay? That is simple. Simple, simple. If we can't do that, then we're in trouble. Okay? If we can't beat the Jets, we're in huge trouble, and then I would hit the panic button. But right now, I'm not, because last year we got crushed 35-7. I hit the panic button, and then the Steelers went 12-4. Okay, so I'm going to try to be more realistic / optimistic, both at the same time. Okay, I'm not going to be overly pessimistic, but I'm also not going to be drinking the Kool-Aid either. There are a lot of Yinzers out there in Pittsburgh that drink the Kool-Aid and everything. I'm not going to do that, but I'm also not going to be a pessimist and always look at the glass half empty. Okay, if I think we can come back and beat the Jets, but it's going to take a much better performance. Ben better not miss receivers. We better run the ball better. We better have better defense, and we better coach better. That's actually the main point. Coach better in this game, okay? When the Jets adjust, we got to adjust to the adjustment. Okay, that's, I think, the big difference in this game. And also the offensive line was pretty bad, as it always was in Denver. But if we can at least if we can at least let Ben be Ben and try to get a running game going, try to get back to some fundamentals, some blocking, and try to get some people healthy, then we are going to be in better shape coming in. I mean, it's going to be something. I mean, and why is it that every year that the offensive line always gets injured? I mean, are we wusses or something? Are the offensive line full of wusses or what? I mean, why is it that the Steelers' offensive line is the line that's always banged up the most? Okay, I mean, are we just wimps or what? Are we going to need a new training style at training camp? I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, if you have a comment on that, let me know. I like to know why it seems like our offensive line is always the one getting banged up among the 32 teams in this National Football League. I want to know why. I want to know what the hell's going on and why that is every single year. And what's going on here? So if you have an opinion on that, let me know. If you have an opinion on the game, let me know. Thoughts on the Jets coming up, let me know. But I think I covered all that pretty well. Otherwise, that's going to be it for now. It was a disappointing loss, and it's been disappointing for Pittsburgh sports right now. And I think we've hit a rock bottom, and I wonder who's ready for the Pens to start already. And that's how bad it's gotten here. So the Steelers better redeem themselves, because I see the Pirates collapsing big time, and I also see the Panthers having a lousy season, and of course Penn State's going to suck this year. And I've jumped off the Penn State bandwagon after all this crap with Sandusky and that. But anyway, that's about it. For now, that is week 1. The Steelers played awful. They better get their acts together. The coaching better get their heads out of their asses, and we'll go from there. But otherwise, have a great night, everyone. See you later.